Something that I've noticed as I've started to grow and scale my business is you really only get one or two good opportunities a year. And when you get them, you have to swing for the fences. But when you don't get those pitches, you don't try and just force a base hit. I'll just use my business as an example. Right now, I help large businesses grow their social medias with the goal of converting the increase in viewers into paying customers for whatever business they have. And I only work with very, very large businesses. The first real time that I was looking for a client was last summer when I was ready to expand and take on more work. I started working with that person in January. He is a $3 billion business. His name's Ken McElroy. Since then, since I started working with him, I got introduced to all of his friends, and I got probably 50 to 75 job offers of people wanting to take on my business for theirs. So basically potential clients, and I turned them all down until this past week. There's been two potential clients who I might actually take on because they are my exact avatar that I want to work with. One runs one of the largest stem cell facilities in the world. He makes, or his business generates over $50 million a year in revenue, and the profit margins are incredible. And the other guy just sold his company for a little over $100 million. And so these are the home run pitches that could really, really accelerate me scaling my business. But in the meantime, I easily could have taken on more work that could have generated $5,000, $10,000 per month extra. But that would have prevented me from being able to take on these massive whales that pay significantly more and are much easier to work with. And so I focus most of my time just on trying to get better at what I do so I can attract a higher quality person. And I think the similar stature to if you were trying to attract a mate per se. If you just spend all your time focusing on improving yourself, the quality of mate that you could attract increases exponentially with that. And so it's the same with your business if you are providing some sort of service. Most people are just not good enough at what they are providing. And when you provide incredible results for somebody, everybody wants to work with you. And so I'm really in the business of hiring incredible people to where I can service all these people on mass scale, which I'm nowhere near that right now. I've gone the past 7, 8 months without increasing my income at all. I've just been slowly compounding and building more skills and showing better results for all of my clients. Just trying to bring more people on the boat that I'm training to where when that home run pitch comes, I'm able to take the absolute highest advantage of it humanly possible. And now that's what I'm really focusing on. And I'm exhausted. I probably didn't make sense this video. The past 4 nights, I've probably gotten a total of maybe 15 hours of sleep. And I usually prioritize sleep. It's like one of the number one things because I function exceptionally well when I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If I don't get that, I'm mentally drained, fogged. But I was partying this weekend with some guys who came to town, and that is how I closed a potential like $300,000-$400,000 per year client. And so, I mean, I could make 100 videos on how I can network with these people and why they then always want to hang out with me, who the most successful of the successful entrepreneurs, the pinnacle of business owners. It's the only people that I really hang out with now. And it is just remarkable when we were at dinner with 15 people and the guy who owns the stem cell hospital, he was just like, we'll get all the appetizers super casually. He said, then just, he's like, what kind of steaks do they have? He said, well, we just imported some tomahawks that are really good. And he said, well, just bring out 7 of them after all the appetizers. And then he said, bring all the sides with it. And he didn't, he didn't think about the cost at all. So he's like, then just bring out a few bottles of red wine. And when you make a lot of money, you can do those sorts of things, but they just really operate on a completely different level than to what most people experience on a day-to-day life. And then the quality of conversation that you can have, it's really just incredible. So I'm gonna try and hyper recover. Tonight there was a huge Colombian soccer game that they were going to. It's Colombia versus Argentina, and I went for like 10 minutes, and I said, I'm getting home. I do gotta make a video and go to bed. It's still already getting late. It's already 9 o'clock. I want to be asleep by 9, but it's just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Wednesday, I have a call with another client a guy who just sold his company for over 300 or $100 million. He was offering as a base salary $300,000 per year. So I don't know what's going to happen with the two potential clients. I mean, haven't closed any of them yet. Just like soft commitments and going over strategies for the future. I'm going to try and record the conversation I have Wednesday to show you guys how I will actually structure this business meeting, but he might not want me to post it, so maybe not. Either way, I'll definitely talk about it. This would just really expand my business. this would take it from where the real compounding growth. I remember when I first started, I was making a few $1,000s a month, and then I learned a new skill and got a few new clients, and then I was making a little bit more money, and then took a long time, maybe another year, till I started to get my next jump forward in income. And then it was really potentially to now where this would be the exponential part. Like it was just slow, slow, slow. And this would take my income to like just through the roof. This would be 700 grand in revenue a year coming in just from two clients. And the main thing is keeping these clients forever. Most people have a lot of churn in their business. So far, I've had zero. Everyone I've taken on have never stopped, which is very good. And so when you're trying to calculate the lifetime value of your clients, thus far, none of my clients have ever stopped paying. They continuously pay more and more, which is exactly what the kind of business that I want to have, not where you're just reliant upon getting new leads because your product isn't that good. And so this would be huge. This would really, really be huge. And I would, over the next few months, take scaling to the next level because I'd have the budget to hire the super elite talent that would be telling me what to do instead of me telling them what to do, which is the biggest differentiating factor that I've seen between very large businesses. Most medium and small size businesses, the business owner has to lead the employees. They have to tell them what to do. They have to structure every single thing. Where real like the pro businesses, the employees manage the entrepreneur's time or the business owner. They tell them what they need from them and they only get what they need, and then they can handle everything else on themselves. I just got a funny text from one of the buddies that's down here right now. He makes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s per month with a few different businesses that he has. And he texted me that I gave an Irish goodbye. I snuck off where they were all having a good time, but I literally felt like I was just going to fall asleep and pass out. So I got up. They said, "Are you going to the bathroom?" And I gave a little white lie. I said, "Yep, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll see you later," because I knew that they would not have let me leave. They would have said, "No, get your ass down here. Take a shot of rum or whatever the hell they got, and come and watch the soccer game." But I can't. I got to stay focused and do what's very necessary, which right now it's focusing on these big opportunities and gonna crush it out of the park. So goodbye. Fuck. And here's another thing. I'm just always trying to get better. And when I was watching a few of my videos over when I had to edit them, I noticed that I keep on starting sentences with the word so. And because I'm very actively trying to improve my communication ability, both in dialect and also just in general, if you're giving a presentation and just speaking normally, you don't want to use all these filler words. And I noticed that I have some bad tics and habits that I incorporate into my speaking when I don't exactly know how to open off a sentence. I have some filler words that I started off with. A lot of people say, but, so, just all these things that like the things that don't they add value to the conversation, so you really want to try and cut them out. So fuck, I did it again. I did it again. It's really just when you're not mentally clear on what you want to say next, instead of taking a pause, you just put a filler word in. I'm trying to get better at communicating, so I'm actively thinking when I use those words. I almost just did it again. One of the big parts of being better at communicating is just being okay having a pause in between your sentences and collecting your thoughts and then moving into the next subject, instead of just giving a blah blah blah. I'm completely spewing on about nonsense right now because my brain is fried and I feel like an idiot. That's what happens of a long weekend of drinking a bunch of alcohol and not sleeping much. You just turn into a sack of potatoes. And I hate feeling like this. I just hate feeling very stupid, because that's genuinely how it feels. So I don't, fuck, I did it again. I don't see the huge appeal of drinking the weekends away. This was actually a business type of weekend trip, and potentially just closed me my biggest client ever. So we'll see what happens.